Here at Legal Warriors, 3 secret weapons if you were investigated or contacted by the police. It's really important you know these secret weapons. They might help you keep from being arrested. If you find this useful or interesting, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear, and I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington state for more than 20 years. I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the help they need. Now I'm just going to jump right into it. There are 3 secret weapons that you need to use, or at least pay attention to, when you're being looked at by the police as a suspect, as someone they're considering may have committed a crime. Now, there's a bunch of different situations this can apply to. And I think I'm just going to call the first situation a common one. Let's say that you are involved with a dispute with someone. It could be a domestic violence dispute with a family member. It could be a dispute with another person at a bar or a restaurant. But let's imagine that the police have been called and now they're talking to the people involved. There's a claim of assault, there's a claim of property damage, there's a claim of something, and now the police are coming to talk to you. What's the first secret weapon? The first secret weapon is never admit to a crime. No matter how much you want to just say your piece to the officer, it's important that you don't admit to a crime, because once you admit to a crime, they're going to arrest you. Okay, and so it's important though, Lance, how do I know what a crime is? So in this hypothetical, we're talking about some type of assault situation or some type of property destruction situation, or we could also talk about a threat. So let's cover those 3 common areas about how do we mistakenly say something that admits to a crime in those situations. Well, let's start with assault. Assault in this state, it's not assault and battery. Someone just talked to me on the phone yesterday about assault and battery. In this state, it's just assault. So assault is any unwanted touching or the imminent apprehension of any unwanted touching. It doesn't have to mean a punch, something like that. It can be a push. It can be a shove. And so many times I see police reports where a client of mine has said, all I did was shove them. Well, as soon as you say you touched them, as soon as you say all I did was shove them, shoving is assault. So if you say that, you're getting arrested. We're not supposed to lie to police, but we don't have to also say every possible detail, do we? And we don't have to talk to them at all. So in a property destruction situation, what's the common mistake people make? Well, I busted my own property, it must be okay. Well, if you're married, it's half your spouse's property too. You cannot take the family dinner plate and break it. Well, I just broke my own plate. The officer goes, aha, I gotcha. You admitted to breaking the plate out of anger. You were mad. And you're married. You're automatically just admitted to malicious mischief, 3rd degree, gross misdemeanor offense. 1 year in jail max. Same way for harassment. I didn't do anything. I didn't hit them or break anything. I just threatened to kick their butt. Well, a verbal threat is a crime in this state if the other side reasonably believes the threat would be carried out. So what we don't want to do is admit to a crime. So secret weapon number 1 is never admit to a crime. And hopefully I've given you a few tips there about ways you can say things, trying to say all I did was this, but the all I did is still a crime. Okay? What is secret weapon number 2? Secret weapon number 2 is know why the police are contacting you. Figure that out. So many times the police will purposely, and it's a good strategy for police, not tell you why they're reaching out to you. So this is a different hypothetical, right? You get a call on the phone and an officer says, hey, Mr. Smith, would you mind coming down to the station? We have something to talk to you about. Can you meet me at 2 o'clock? Oh, sure, I'll meet you at 2 o'clock. And you go down there, and now all these things get sprung on you you're not ready for. Or even worse, they just arrest you. But what you need to do is you need to ask the officer, why do you want to talk to me? And as part of that, if the officer begins to tell you, if it's a smart officer, they'll start to ask you a few questions. Well, do you know Mrs. Y? And she's made a complaint about you. You know her, don't you? As soon as you say yes, now you've just given them part of their case. Well, I don't want to answer that right now. What is it you can tell me about that officer? Why do you want to see me? What is being claimed against me? I'd rather tell you that at the station. Well, I'm certainly not going to even consider coming down unless I know why, officer, right? So you need to find out why they want to talk to you, okay? And if you know why they want to talk to you and what they're investigating, you can be a lot more careful about the first secret weapon, not admitting to a crime, okay? Because why are officers contacting you? They're going to tell you they want your side of the story. But if they truly believe you're a suspect, they don't want your side of the story. They want to get an admission out of you to build their case. There are exceptions. Sometimes they haven't made their mind up. They don't know who they believe or not. But at that point, hopefully you're going to an attorney, and a skilled attorney is going to help you determine what happened from your point of view, what we think the other side might be saying, what we think the officer might be thinking, to help you make a decision about how to behave. Do we want to talk to the officer to get our side out? Is that a bad idea? Because anything we say is not going to help us. So that's the second secret weapon. Figure out what the officer wants to talk about. What is the third secret weapon if an officer is investigating you? Well, we might understand what it is. It's probably what you thought the first one would be. Shut up, right? Quit talking. Don't talk to police if they're investigating you unless you have an attorney, okay? And that first hypothetical, if it's a dynamic situation, maybe then if you're careful about not admitting to a crime and you're the victim and you can show you're a victim, show injuries, then maybe you do want to talk to police, okay? But in general, if you're inexperienced, those first two steps, the first two secret weapons, one, admitting to crimes could come out if you talk to police, and two, not knowing what they want to talk to you about can surprise you. So the third secret weapon is, hey, just don't talk to the police. Put them off. Hey, I want to talk to you, but I want to talk to an attorney first. Is that okay with you? Well, of course it is, right? You have a right to an attorney. So use your right to remain silent. It cannot be used against you. And it's not absolute. If you don't talk now, it doesn't mean you won't talk later. And what does everyone say? So many people call, well, Lance, if I don't talk to the police, they're going to think I'm guilty. They already think you're guilty. That's why they're contacting you, right? They're the police. They don't call people they think are not guilty as a rule of thumb. There's always an exception, but I doubt many people would disagree with that statement. So do not talk to the police, and certainly don't do it without a lawyer in most situations. Again, this is general education. It's not legal advice for your particular situation, but I think those are the three secret weapons that you need to be empowered with so bad things don't happen to you when you talk to the police, if you choose to. All right? So if you found that useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get the help they need. And more importantly, if you're being investigated for a crime, give my office a call. I was a prosecutor for 7 years, doing defense for 20. We have a lot better idea than some people about what is likely going on. We'll listen to what happened. We'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.